Hey everybody. So one of the questions I often get asked is, how did we actually scale the curves for Women in Franchise to millions of dollars in sales? Why were we in the top 1% of all the franchises out of 10,000 of the most profitable? And many people think that it was because we had this amazing sales system. Now, that was one part of it. I mean, we did have a great sales system, don't get me wrong. But we also had lots of other systems and processes and policies that were documented that actually started to drive the business and operate the business. Now, you can say that it all started to sync together. Your business must become an orchestra. So what I mean by that is everything must play together like a beautiful symphony, all kind of playing together in sync. That's what your business should do. Your business should not be working in silos. It should not be a system here and then a little bit of a process here and another system here, and it's all separated. It all should be coming together. And that's why we were able to have the success we did with that business. Now, more importantly, because we were able to do that, we could step out of the business and stop working in the business and work on the business. Now, because we were able to work on the business, we were able to drive top-line revenue a lot easier. We were able to do true CEO activities. Now, when somebody would come into the business, we were able to give them the processes. We were able to give them the steps. They could follow it very easily and very simply. And because they could follow this very easily and very simply, then again, we stepped out of the business and we could overlook the business, oversee the business from top down to drive the business properly like a true CEO should do. And it doesn't matter what size of business you're in, it should be built like this. Now, if we did not build it like that, we would have never grown like we did. We would have never had the membership we did. We would have never had the type of business we would have had, because it would have been all over the place. It would have been a floundering business. Most businesses are what I call floundering business. They just kind of putter along. The truth is, most small businesses will never ever make it. And the reason is because of what we're just talking about right now. They're all working almost against each other, the business, let alone most of them don't even have systems, processes, documented, all set up to run. And understand that even if you have 6 systems running, under that you're going to have about 5 to 6. Or under that you're going to have lots of subset systems under those 5 to 6 main systems. Now, we always, in our systems, and how we do it in our business now, which is the same we did it before, we have a system management software. I've run it differently on different businesses. And this is kind of like where we attach all our media. People can go in and sign off on things, and it's easy to use. We put our spreadsheets in, flow charts, checklists, videos, audios, templates, and all the assets go in here to streamline the process. Now, you could say that this is the foundation of any business. Now, within all the systems, as I said, you have many subset systems that drive the business, and these will be different for different businesses, but many businesses function the same and use the same main systems. So for example, our systems, I call one humanizing leadership and management. Now, the leader will strategically drive the business, the vision of the company. They lead the higher purpose. It's different than managing the business. The manager will tell those what to do, and they'll manage resources and things. Now, when you're a smaller business, you're wearing both hats. You're doing manager stuff and you're doing leadership stuff. But you have to understand, when you're leading, then you need to take that hat off and understand that you're a leader, not a manager, vice versa. Your end goal is to stay in that leadership position. And that means you can drive high-level activities of the business. This means you're working on the business and not in the business. You're driving purpose and core values and culture and doing big meetings and doing one-on-one meetings. You're bringing in more business and you're closing deals and you're mastering the leverage game, which, by the way, is how you scale a business, leverage. And you're doing it all together like a top-level CEO. So we then humanize marketing and sales. This is another system, and it's designed to attract customers and then convert them into sales and then retain them as happy customers. And under this, again, we have many subsystems that become the processes. For example, under our marketing, you would have our content marketing system. And then all the processes are how we're distributing the content in a step-by-step format. So let's say an outsourcer or a staff member can step in, execute the entire plan. Or under the sales, we might have the process of sending a lead to our podcast, booking the podcast, inviting them, getting on the podcast, then they book a call after to learn more about us, then they're sent the Calendly link, then it's connected to Zoom, then they call and book, and so on. It's a step-by-step process. Then we have humanizing products and services. This requires the R&D of your products and service and the production of them and fulfillment. Then we have humanizing resources. This is the entire people side of the business. I also here include the purchasing or supply chain system for certain businesses. Now, as often, you got to keep tight relationships with these people. And then we have humanizing the financials. And this is dealing with the entire financial side of the business. This will also include legal, as most small businesses have contracts and terms and conditions and trademarks. So you could say then that that is all our systems. So if you notice, that's our main systems, we'll call them. And then under those main systems, we have everything else that's a subsystem that moves into processes then. And you'll probably wonder why I called it humanizing all our systems, because you'll notice it's humanizing human resources, humanizing leadership and management, humanizing marketing and sales, and so on. Because what we do is we work to humanize our entire business, more like a people before profit business model. So I want to drive that language through the entire DNA of the business. And also, this is the competitive advantage any small business can get right now. If you humanize your business from top to bottom, you will gain the competitive advantage over everybody, 100%. So it's critical to understand how to humanize the business, but just as important to understand how you create all those systems and processes and policies and subsystems to drive the entire business. You'll notice too that you can have a lot of different subset systems just within the category, because you could have, for example, your customer experience could have a subsystem that drives that customer experience, and then maybe you're doing some kind of strategy where you're doing some kind of like a rollout of a new launch or something, and then you would have another subsystem under that that would create another customer strategy or customer experience. So when we're creating our subsystems and processes, we go real in depth on this because we want to create a different experience. We want to create an experience that wows everybody. We want to build our business differently. We want to grow our business differently. We want to do things differently. We want to be very detailed in everything we do within our processes and our systems. And the more detailed we get and the more we care about the people at the end, then we get the rewards. Example, our Compassion Kingdom just has a built out subset system for volunteers. So it would be how a volunteer is contacted for the first time, then what they are sent, then who talks to them, then after somebody's talked to them on the phone, what package is sent to them. And then after they come out and help us do compassion stuff or do it in their city, how do we take care of them after? And then how do we keep them in the community? And then how do we bring them along? So that's a whole set of steps and processes inside that. So the process and then the steps inside that go from A to Z. Now, I don't have to touch that anymore, meaning anybody can step into our business, just take that system and duplicate it. So if you really opened up our business, you would be like, okay, everything can be duplicated. So if I got sick, something happened to me, I could step out, everybody could just step in and they could run the entire business. It could run the same. It could get the same results. It's very duplicatable, which is the key to success in any business. And again, that's how you're able to step outside of the business and stop working in the business and work on the business more. Because that's the only way to grow a business, is start working on the business. Now, I agree with you guys. It's hard when you're a small business because, again, you're going to have to wear many hats. That's just the way it is. You're going to have to do a CEO activity and then take it off, and then do marketing activity, and then take off marketing, and then do human resources, and then take off human resources and do sales, and then take off sales and do... That's just the way it is. But the difference is when you have the system set up and processes, it gets 100% easier, and you save a ton of money, by the way, a ton of money. Small businesses are notorious for not being able to see the hidden costs in their business. And if you don't have all this set up, you are just wasting money like crazy over and over and over again. So when you step back, understand that you should be sitting down for at least an hour a day and just reviewing all your playbooks, we call them, going through everything, how your business runs and operates, runs and operates, runs and operates. And, oh, I think sorry, I need to go back. I don't think I said one of the systems we had, humanizing finances, because I was just going to mention profit and loss statements. So we have, our other one is humanizing finances. And that is everything in there from top to bottom. No, well, I actually said that. I talked about legal. I got that one. So never mind, forget that. Well, you get it, you get it. So that is the whole process. That is the way to really scale a business, to really grow a business, to really have success. Now, let me just tell you that it's attention to the detail in the behind the scenes. It's the stuff that you're not gonna like to do, by the way. It's the stuff that's not fun. It's the stuff that's not sexy. And you'll notice that any of the best CEOs in the world are really good at not doing the sexy stuff. And a matter of fact, most of the biggest and best CEOs in the world, you haven't even heard of them. They're not on social media. They're not marketing people. They're not out there like that. They know how to get behind the scenes, roll up their sleeves, and drive that business to the next level. That's how a business succeeds. So you have to focus on this, my friends. If you don't get this part, then you're just not going to have a great business. It's impossible, no matter how much you dream, believe, and want it. So go out there, enjoy the process, and have fun.